Hello everyone, welcome, my name's Untogether, welcome to this, another one of our Geoguessr challenges where I spot my way around the world and try not to make a fool of myself. Doesn't always happen. Doesn't always happen. May surprise you, doesn't always happen. So where are we today? Ooh, our dollars. Now then, that doesn't help me at all. That should help me. Because it should help me, but it doesn't. So there's, you know how we said, oh yeah, let's not make an idiot of ourselves. Well, not knowing what that currency is has done it, first of all. Is this an apartment building? Because it looks like a prison block. Because you've got your tower up there and your big walls and nobody's getting out. Alright, you've got the big sculpture outside, but it's in the middle of nowhere with fences and everything else. Yeah, not sure I'd want to live there. Okay, let's continue up the road here and we'll see where we can find, if anywhere. So we're thinking South America for this first point, obviously, but yeah, don't know where. I'm going to rule out Mexico because dollars, not pesos. But again, need a bit of help. I think back here somewhere there was a sign. Oops, there was a sign before that went a bit crazy. And I can't really read that, so never mind that one. Right, let's carry on up the road. Now, what I like to do with these Geoguessr challenges, with these random ones anyway, where Geoguessr just finds 5 places to drop you, is 10,000 points. Is what I like to think. 10,000 points, if you can get over that, you've done all right. You've not done well, but you've done all right. You can kind of hold your head up and say, yeah, I did okay. Looking at the redness of this earth, this really looks like Australia, looks like Mars. But we know it isn't Mars or Australia because of the signs and other things. But what I'm looking at is somewhere that's on a parallel with Australia in South America. So we are looking perhaps Argentina or Uruguay or Chile. I'm basing that on the redness of the soil. But again, I have to admit to ignorance in I don't know what currencies those countries use. And this is your normal Geoguessr thing, where it's a long straight road in the middle of nowhere. Admittedly, there was a prison that they're selling apartments in, out in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, I think we are very southern hemisphere. And perhaps we're going to be in South America, and not for once, but in Brazil or Mexico, which makes a huge change. Because normally, that's where you are. No clues off matey on his bike, but there's a sign here. So if we turn, man, all these road signs are, whoops, past it. All these road signs are battered, look at this. Yep, doesn't help whatsoever. Right, we'll see if we can't get around this corner and see if there's anything, and if not we're going to have to make a guess, because I think we could go possibly 100 miles up this road and maybe not find anywhere, tractor, maybe not find anywhere that isn't somewhere massively rural and with nothing in the way of clues apart from our red earth. So simply because of we're obviously in South America, from the language that's used, and you can tell by the terrain and the foliage and that sort of thing. The red earth, I think we're on a level with Australia. So I want to say that we are somewhere in Argentina, and I'm going to pop us a rural Argentina, and here's a nice big rural bit with not many large towns in. So I'm going to drop a mark in here, and we will see if I'm close or if I'm stupid. Brazil, central Brazil at that. So it was Brazil. Everywhere's Brazil. Oh well, that's perhaps an episode title. Okay, right up on these massive lakes and near a big town as well. I must have come this way up the road. I didn't see the lake. We certainly didn't see the town. So I must have headed up this road somewhere. See those odd apartment building things anywhere? Oh look, we could have gone out onto the island. So obviously I chose completely, if I'd have gone either of the other ways, it may have given us something a bit more clue-wise, but I chose the wrong way. 1800 points. Not a fantastic start. Right, first thing here, resolution. Very low, obviously one of the first places that they went to. Wow. This is... wow. See, the resolution's so low I can't even read that sign. Which way do we want to go? Because as we just found out, it's important to choose your direction carefully. See, I can't even tell from that sign what language that is, because it's just a blur. It's like I'm 65 and have cataracts, which actually isn't that far away, but never mind that for now. Right, let's go this way. Alright, let's just keep going around in a circle then, thanks to Geoguessr. Okay, let's come down the road then. Let's see if we can't get away from that little circular bit. This is the way that we were originally going. So let's click our way down this long, pretty dirt road in amongst the mountains. The trouble is, with the resolution being so low, makes all the signs pretty much unreadable, which obviously makes it very, very tricky, because where the heck is this? See, normally you can see the first picture of any of these and you think, oh right, I'm in this continent, I'm in Eastern Europe, I'm in South America, I'm in Australia, I'm in South Africa, I'm in northern, USA. It's either going to be Canada or the US. This, difficult. Very difficult. Wouldn't really know. Yeah. This is going to be one of those guesses where I'm going to end up being massively wrong. For some reason my hunch, my gut says South Africa, but I've got no basis for that. Oh, for Pete's sake. I've got no basis for that. Could be Australia. There's no reason why it couldn't be, and we're moving very, very slowly down this road now. So that says 10 on that sign, but again, mile 10. USA? Perhaps US? Well, that's just thrown me off completely. Based on that, I'm going to go US. What have we got here? Dirt roads, hills. Yeah, it could be anywhere. I'm going to say Utah for no other reason than they have all the salt flats and everything else around here. Let's drop one in here. Absolutely no idea for this one. Hey, wow. Okay, so I nearly threw myself to the wrong continent. I was convinced that was going to be either South Africa or Australia, and we turned out to be in the US. Got the wrong state, Idaho as opposed to Salt Lake. But again, when you're dropped in the middle of here and there is literally nothing around, and you can't even see the signs, I will take that. That's not bad. 585 away, but 2,377 points. Not too bad at all. So, where are we this time? 189, 209.9. As in, well, it depends if that's a gallon or a litre, because if that's a gallon, that's a dirt sight cheaper than where I live, I'll tell you that. Right, entrance. Okay, that helps. Yellow road markings, huge honking great trucks. We're in the US again, I think, or perhaps Canada. We're certainly in North America for once I can tell. Hooray. Keep right except to pass. Well, obviously. What else are you going to do? So they drive on the right. So a US or Canada certainly. Let's see if we can't narrow this down just a touch, because that would be a good thing, because that's pretty much what the game is all about. But again, they do enjoy dropping us in the middle of nowhere. Can I see anything about that sign? No. Next something 5 miles. So, yeah. Still amazes me. Probably because I live in quite a small country and we're very built up. You know, we've got an area much, much smaller than Texas. And we have 60 million people who live here. And that's increasing all the time. Salt Lake. Oh, just got a text. Shows I must be very popular today. Salt Lake 155. I-15, I'm guessing that is 103. And Price in 35. So Salt Lake, I know this because I just saw it, is here. Because we just saw it on our last guess. But Price, it's 115 miles. So the 15 is 103 away. So we're not on the 15. But we've got to be presumed there's Price there. So Price is 35. So if they're marking the I-15, see that's the 70, the 15 runs up here. Interesting, I don't know where we would be. So presumably we're 35 miles south of Price in order for you to come up to the I-15 here. And then Salt Lake 100, so that would be 55 miles. Yeah, that would be 55. Price is 35 away, that means that would be 70. That would be 55. So I'm going to say we're 35 miles south of here, which would drop us, so if that there is 70, I'm going to say probably about down here. Do you know what, we're going to guess this and we're going to see, and we're going to work out if my rudimentary maths, because I'm English, not maths, my rudimentary maths is correct. 19 kilometres away. Not bad. Not bad at all. I will take that every day and night. Narrowing that down on that road was going to be very, very difficult. But to be 19 away with one road sign, 5,147, that's pretty darn good, folks. I will take that every day and every night. Now, little sign behind us. Oh, need to come up one more. School bus stop ahead. Next 3 miles. So, USA or Canada again. Man, they do love a bit of the US or Canada. So let's see. Because I'm probably going the wrong way. If the school bus comes this way, then we must be near somewhere. So yeah, what was I going on about before? Yeah, just how remote and how uninhabited the huge parts of the world still are. Because as I say, I live in a country that's far smaller than Texas. And we have 60 million people. And basically you go 5 miles, you'll find a town. There's very few places. There's obviously some places which are farmland and other stuff. But there's very few places that are untouched, which vast areas of this, you know, seem to be. You can go 20, 30, 40, 50 miles and not see a significant dwelling. You know, that isn't possible where I live. You cannot go that far. Northway Junction and Tock Junction, that doesn't help me whatsoever. See, 10 miles and 60 miles. So there's a 50-mile gap between the two places where you're headed. Yeah, you can't go 50 miles in any direction where I live and not see anything. Not see anything significant in terms of, you know, of towns or anything else. So let's spot up here. Let's keep running. Fortunately, we don't have to physically run it. We can just click, which is a nice way to be. Overtake that car. Come atop the crest of the hill. And we'll see what's down the other side. And I think I know what's going to be down the other side. It's going to be a load more empty road. So yeah, this might have to be another one where we make a guess. The US has been pretty good to us so far. Canadian border, okay, and Haynes Junction. Canadian border, it looks like 20 miles. Well, that's a really helpful sign. So we know we're somewhere along this part, but there's an awful lot of Canadian border within the US. Haynes Junction is 235 miles away. So if that is the first place in Canada that you're going to meet on this road that's any significance, that tells me that where you're driving into probably certainly isn't along this side, because Quebec, Montreal would take precedent over the signs, as would Winnipeg here. So, Haynes Junction. I mean, again, how long do you spend trying to look for this town? So I think if it was anywhere around here, you'd sign Vancouver or Calgary. If it was anywhere here, you'd sign Winnipeg. You see, there's a crossing here. There's a border here with very little around. But why pick on Haynes Junction? That seems so strange. See, around here, Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, Quebec, you know, you would sign all of these places. Again, you probably, I didn't mean to drop that there, you probably signpost Halifax if you were here over anywhere else. So I think the emptiest looking part of large settlements is across this border here. But ironically, there doesn't seem to be a single, there are roads that cross here. So I think we're somewhere in this section here, Montana, North Dakota. And what we'll do is we will drop a mark just there, and we will see how far away we are based on that reasoning that Haynes Junction seems to be 235. That's crazy. What? Oh, we were in Alaska coming in. Of course, the border doesn't just stretch along that south part, it stretches all up here as well. Wow. Okay, so where the heck then is Haynes Junction? Well, we can't even see it zoomed out this close. Yeah, that'll be why it's 235 miles away, because there's absolutely nothing going on for the rest of this road. And even here, that route seems to stop. So you drive there and then what? Then where do you go? Well, got its own back on us there, did the USA. Still 11,183 after 4 goes. We're not being an idiot today because we got pretty lucky with Salt Lake earlier on and our rudimentary maths. So let's see where we are for our last one here. That sign, that very brief blue road sign that we spotted past, didn't look US. Whoops. So, say this little sign here. What these red markers are here. Let's see if we can't get out of this small wooded road. Single track road while they put passing places in here. Let's see if we can't see where we are. No, we're going up the ways. And nothing much to see. And still dirt roads. Okay. Still dirt roads with these little blue signs on them. Well, not dirt roads, they're tarmacs, but they're only single lane tarmac. Got bridges. Should be over streams. Okay. See that? Don't know. That'd be. See, if we think we're not American because of those odd blue signs, that to me looks Scandinavian. That single setback, more Scandinavian than anything else. That's what I'm kind of thinking right now. But let's see if we can't just get another clue somewhere and perhaps narrow it down. See again, those red houses there. Yeah, this looks more Scandinavian than anything else, but again, is it Norway, Sweden, is it Finland, is it Denmark? Who's to say? There's a person, if only we could ask them, but we can't ask them because it's a photograph and not a real person. Can I see anything on that sign? $15.99, thanks for that. That really doesn't help me. Okay, small caravan. Trailer there doesn't help. Yeah, I think we're just going to have a guess. I'm going to go, for some reason my gut says Norway. And we're obviously in the parts between the built up areas for a small road. I'm going to say here in Norway. Let's see how close we are. Just because of the architecture. It's realistically the only reason that I'm going Scandinavia. Okay, Finland. Right part of the world, long way away in terms of distance. But still 2,109. All the way up here. In the cold north part of Finland. Which is great. So, on our completion, what we get is 13,292, which isn't too bad. In fact, it's not too bad given how far away we were. And 3 of those were pretty bad. We kind of got the right part of the world. Obviously, that to be in Alaska in the US as opposed to this part of the Canadian border, that was a big hit for us. We did pretty well with our 2 in the US. We had some half decent reasoning to get pretty close to those 2. Yeah, Argentina, the red soil in central Brazil. Although again, I mean, it's kind of on a parallel with Australia. We picked up Scandinavia, but not anywhere close to the right country. 13,292 isn't bad, not great, could have been better. 6 out of 10, see me in red pen, written on the bottom of that report. So anyway folks, my name's been Untogether. So subscribe if you want to see more of these. There'll always be more, like if you liked. And I will hopefully see you guys for the next one.